Hello and welcome back to another video. Today you join me at Kimbolton again for round 2 of their club championship, and we've got a brand new engine on, the R2. So we're going to see how we get on today. Today's testing, tomorrow is the race. So let's get into it. Take a look at my new boots. I've just went and, well, not new, bought them off another driver, but I think they look really nice with the suit. And unfortunately, because I've got a bit of neck injury, I've had to buy a neck brace, something I've not used in a while, and it looks tiny, so not sure how that's going to go. Helmet, using a bell for the moment because it is pouring down. And let's put you on to the cart. So we've got the R2 on now, the new engine. Even though we've got testing today, we are going to run it just to make sure it runs nicely. So into practice session 1 now at a very wet Kimbolton car circuit. Now again, we've got our new engine on, which does mean it needs about a session to be running. However, you're going to see I sort of forget to keep it on the slow side. So I haven't also been in the KZ for about 3 or 4 months, so it's been a while, and the last time I was at Kimbolton was back in September, so it's been quite a long time, but we are out again, and hopefully tomorrow we can get some decent results. So the first thing to do is just getting used to the car and how it handled after not being in it for months, trying different lines obviously in the wet, just experimenting a bit on the outlap, and of course trying to keep the engine RPMs to a minimum. Now fast forward a couple of laps and we're going to be coming up to the 27 of Amy Gerger, the ex-Formula 1 Mercedes AMG F1 engineer, who seems to be going quite slow down the straight. So we're going to go past her just before the yellow flag comes out. Not too sure what this is for, but obviously something that has happened, and going a bit wide there, going all the way out and just nibbling off a bit of the curb, and someone's broken down on the inside of the exit of the S's, so not ideal for the first session for them, but luckily we are still in one piece. Not much really happened, and then the checker flag came out, and that was it for practice session 1. So out for session 2 now of the day. Now it's stopped raining, but the track is still very wet and very greasy. For myself at the back of the grid, just to see how we get on and if we can catch up on people. Now the 97 in front of us, we're going to try and we're going to go past them now as we open up down the straight. In front of us is the number 57 on the LN kart suit, Ben Ballou, the SC plate holder in Forest Edge. We're going to see what we can do past him. Now he's going to give us the finger, not the middle finger, but his pointing finger, which is going to let us past, and then we are going to go out for our proper first lap, and we can fully push it now since we don't have to run it in anymore. Well, I was really pushing it in practice session 1, to be honest. And we're going to go up to the 27 of Amy again and pass her. I believe she's running in, or she's got some sort of issue. And I've also seen she's on Mojo tyres. So I presume not taking it too seriously, just a light little drive out, as Mojos won't be the best of tyres for a 50 horsepower KZ kart. So we're just on lunch break now. Obviously the track is still kind of wet and it's hard to really tell in these conditions, but I mean, from what I've heard, the engine's quite good down the straight, and obviously it's quite hard to tell obviously the difference between it and the R1, as I haven't been out in it for about 4 months, and I can't really tell in these conditions. So hopefully tomorrow it's dry. Maybe today we're going to get some wet dry running, I'm not too sure, but fingers crossed tomorrow will be dry. I mean, you can really see outside how it is sort of still just flooded everywhere, and yeah, I mean, look at this sky, it's still very dark and it's not looking like it's going to dry out today. So at a quite congested front of the grid for one of the final sessions of the day, at least for us, and we're going to see how we get on with some of the big drivers. Like we've got Sam Ward just in front of us, the number 63 and the original number 9 from last year's British Championships. Then to the left of him you're going to see the number 5 of Miles Murphy, who is of course a very fast driver, and to the 38 of Jason Baker and Zylvanus Klimas, who just passed us on number 33. As we're going to rub bumpers as we leave the pit lane, and we're going to try and pass him quite quickly and see what we can do. But just so I do that, you're going to see a front end almost gets chopped off by Leo in the number, the number 38, which was quite a close encounter, as he's going to go straight through on Zylvanus, and we're going to have a go, but again, couldn't really at that point. And then Zylvanus is going to go straight down the inside again, and then oversteer, and then Leo is going to pass him again, the FF Corsair driver on the Ferrari GT cars, I believe. And just in front of us, of course, Zylvanus, the person who I actually brought these boots off. So we're going to see if we can pass him with his own boots and with his own oil as well. And again, we're just trying to keep hold of everyone. Of course, it is wet and my tyres are not the greatest. Now, I do know a couple people are on brand new ones today. We're not, we're on quite old ones, probably about 3 or 4 month old wet tyres, which, as you probably know, they lose a lot of grip. As you can see, I'm understeering quite a lot compared to number 33, as I'm going to go round the outside on the exit of the bottom corner of this track, and just in front of us now we've got Jason. So it's quite a tight little train we've got here in KZ. So if this didn't convince you enough to join the grid, well, I don't know what does, because we've still got close racing even when we're going 95 miles per hour. Jason is going to let us pass, I believe, or just pull over with some kind of issue. So fast forward a couple laps and we're still in that train with a 96 just in front of us of Jake Baker, the son of Jason, and we're going to go sending it down the inside, and Jake's actually going to fight us and he's going to keep the position for now. Now coming on to the back straight, we are going to get that power just over him as he just oversteers a bit and puts the power down a bit early and gets quite a lot of wheel spin. So that is up one more position, obviously only practice, but one extra position, as we see Zylvanus on the side of the track broken down with some kind of issue. And it's crazy to see how much time we lose from making overtakes, as both Phillips in the OCK, very fast driver and a very fast car, is going to come past us, and you're going to see him zoom away, as you can see how much better the car grips and how more experienced he is, and how he really controls that car a lot better. As you can see, it just handles into that corner without an issue, and then comes back onto the straight without an issue, and it is gone like a bullet. So watch out for that car tomorrow, because that will be a very fast car, and I believe both behind the wheel could probably have the potential to win tonight. Now forward on to a couple laps later, and we're going to be coming down the start-finish straight, and we're going to see the Sodi car, the number 72 of James Beekoff, is going to send it down the inside, and we're going to do the little cutback move. We're not going to let him past the race winner around this track, and he's defending off him, and he's not getting past today. Whoops, that's not ideal, is it? I think the exhaust has melted our rear bumper. So I still don't understand, you know that. Right, it is now Saturday evening, exhausted after the day. Really tired, but so today went alright. Well, quite good actually. We showed good pace, and hopefully tomorrow will be faster if it's drier, and we can show how our new engine is strong and good. And got the grids now, and heat 1 I'm starting 17th out of 18. Heat 2 I'm on pole, so I'm starting in first place for heat 2, which is definitely going to be an interesting one. Hopefully we can take it to the flag in first place, which would be a dream, but it's obviously going to be very difficult, especially looking at the drivers around me, very fast. You know, Jake Weston, Lucas Ellingham, multiple championship winner around there. Jake Weston, European driver. Some other people I'll have to check again, but there's a lot of fast people, and I'm very tired, so excuse me, and I'm going to head to bed, and I'll put you all on tomorrow morning. So we're now all ready for our starting position of 17th in Heat 1. We've got brand new tyres on today, so hopefully it should be a bit faster.
And here's how they line up. Hannah Lang will start from pole position, from Bradley Calder and Tom Mack. From Sam Ward, Miles Murphy, Jake Baker, Bailey Wrigglesford and James Beecroft round out your row 4. From Leo Robertson, Bea Phillips, Sylvanus Kilmass, from James Harvey, Jason Baker, Ben Ballou, Lucas Ellingham, Jake Weston rounds out your row 8. And George Barker and Jet DeFriend rounds out your row 9.
Full on top level karting competition, you would say, with these geared karts, and it's always fantastic to watch. You will see here, of course, that they have a standing start as opposed to the rolling start that the other categories have. Hannah Lang, 91 on pole position in this first heat. A very capable KZ driver. We'll see how she gets on, because she had some brilliant results here last year. And as Charlie said a few moments ago, this, in effect, it's round number 2, of course, but this is effectively the first point-scoring round of the championship. The grid is just about taking position. I think the final driver on the grid, Jet DeFriend, is now in the position. We're waiting for the lights. So 1, 2, 3, 4 red lights. Wait for the lights to go out, and they're away. And a brilliant drive on the second place there from Bradley Calder as they charge into the first corner. Hannah Lang's got the line, though, and she should hold on here. Having a look down the inside there, the number 11 of Sam Ward trying to get a peek to make up another position. I think he may well have done so. It's a bit tight for third, but Hannah Lang with a brilliant start, charging down the Mitsu straight for the first time, straight into the Dan Weldon corner. And there she goes. Nice wide line coming out of the corner, good traction. And Lang has a brilliant start there. She will have a look at the end of the first lap, leading by quite some distance, as we focus on this battle for second place with Hannah Lang, 91, second position. And a tight line coming out of Kim Bolton there for number 5. Miles Murphy trying to get the traction down the straight, wearing the distinctive Demon Tweaks overalls there, that famous motorsport shop just outside of Wrexham in North Wales. And here he is. That's a really famous old name in motorsport in the UK, you would say, and he's starting to really put the pressure now on Hannah Lang in second place. There she is. Lang, who had the pole position, but Murphy really keeping that pressure on. There he is, number 5, Lucas Ellingham, still shadowing, though, in 4th position.
You can talk well about Demon Tweaks, but I think the ADM paddock shop's better.
Now, I think you're both wrong. I think the George Barker Racing kart store is the best.
Still got 2 minutes left to extend that lead. And I wonder, you know, when it comes to these final laps, you think Sam Ward just starts thinking, you know what, let's just go for a little Sunday drive. Let's just calm down. Let's, you know, just keep putting the laps in. And I wonder at this point, I don't think the drivers don't really think about what's happening. They kind of just, you know, put the laps in. Just consistency is always key. And it's sort of, you can almost put the best laps in when you're not thinking about anything.
Yeah, that's it. If you can get into a rhythm and just run a good, clean race at the front, sometimes it's hard if you haven't got that chasing factor of chasing against another rival. But if you can lead and control the race at the front, run your own race, do the right lines, which the race leader Sam Ward is doing very well at the moment. If we look at some of the drivers further down the top 10. Meanwhile, Hannah Lang coming under a bit of pressure. Oh, there's a little peek down the inside there from Miles Murphy. Perhaps trying to induce Hannah Lang into outbraking herself into the first corner, but she defends that first corner very well indeed through Stowe. And Lang coming under some real pressure here as this race draws into its closing stages here. But Hannah Lang is certainly not going to give that second place up lightly. She's driving very well. Race leader Sam Ward is clear and away at the moment, 33 seconds on the clock. So they'll go through one more time before the last lap board. And you can't write off Lucas Ellingham in fourth place. He looks very threatening indeed. He's getting more and more race practice here, one would say, as they charge down into the first corner. And again, having a look down on the outside this time, he's going to try and switch to the inside here. Ellingham follows. And brilliant move there as Ellingham tries to have a look as well. But a lovely move there from Miles Murphy going wide into the first corner. He had that one weighed up.
The more and more that Hannah Lang
and the number 11, Sam Ward, takes the checkered flag for the first heat win of the day in KZ's. And we cut back to our ADM paddock shop. Multi-screen camera here as we watch the rest of the drivers making their way out to Kimbolton for the final time. It's going to be Murphy second, Ellingham third, Lang in fourth, Weston fifth, James Beecroft in sixth position.
From James Beecroft was Jake Baker and Bradley Calder. From Jed the Friend, who came from the back of the grid there and finished in ninth. So good drive by the Friend. And Kilmass, who rounds out your top 10. It was from Leah Robinson and Ben Ballou. From James Harvey, Jason Baker. From George Barker, who has a really cool YouTube channel, which you should probably check out. He does a lot of race vlogs, which I think is a brilliant idea.
That's worth having a look. So it's Sam Ward, then Miles Murphy, Ellingham, Hannah Lang, Jake Weston, James Beecroft, Baker, Bradley Calder, Jed the Friend, Limas in 10th, Leah Robinson, and one or two non-finishers further down the field, Bo Phillips, Bailey Rigglesford, and Mack spinning out on the final lap of the race.
Right, so that wasn't the best start. Finishing in 15th. So not the best of races, but unfortunately, because of that little error made by me, did drop down. So in a bit of a rush, trying to change up some carb settings, but I will be starting in pole position for this one. Coming up now. So after an error spinning it in heat 1, it's time to start on pole position for the first time for 2025.
I don't get nervous, but I'm starting to get a bit shaky, you know? I mean, I'm a little bit weak.
Karts, this is our geared karts, of course. We're in the gearboxes. You'll see the hand control gear shifter just next to the steering column. This is how they line up. George Barker from Jake Weston, Lucas Ellingham, Ben Ballou, Jason Baker, James Harvey, Slavinas Klimas, and Bo Phillips on row number 4. Leah Robinson from James Beecroft on row 5. Jake Baker, Miles Murphy on row 6. Row 7 is Sam Ward, Tom Mack, Bradley Calder and Hannah Lang on row number 8. And the final driver, Jed DeFriend, on row number 9. Don't forget, of course, plenty of action coming up on TNL Sports throughout the season. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to TNL Sports on YouTube. Next round of the championship taking place on March the 8th. All 11 rounds of the championship to be scheduled this year. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the TNL Sports channel. So the KZUK karts taking to the circuit now. And we'll be having 2 formation laps to get a bit more temperature in the tyres and more temperature in the brakes as well. As these are definitely, I would say, our fastest karts of the day. We're in the gearboxes.
as well, they've got the front disc brakes to warm up as well. Because they carry that much speed, they've had to add the front disc as a sort of safety feature. But in a sense, could not help them either, because they have the obviously with the front brakes as well, you have the opportunity to lock up and just sort of force yourself into understeer. But
so it's time to start on pole position with Jake Weston, Lucas Ellingham, both behind me. The two Morse carts, both on Kart Republics as well. And here's time. If you don't know who I am, I'm the one with the red suit and the white cart, as you probably do know by now. But I do know we've also got a recent graphic change, so you may not recognise me, but this is me coming up to the grid now.
Or X30 driver, they will tend to sort of drive into the corner a lot more. They won't be sort of braking on your traditional sort of braking points. They obviously, as you said, some superb braking systems on these KZ carts, but you've got to have them when you're going to be trying to slow down at 100, 105, 110 miles an hour. I mean, definitely for the KZs, it's important that they are all on the wet tyres, because slick tyres on a damp track in a KZ car, you're just asking for disaster, really. So I think more of a safety feature for that. As 91 pulling up to her final to her grid spot. That's the 91 of Hannah Lang. Now, thumbs up from the back of the field. That must mean we're getting ready to go racing then. So watch out for the lights on the gantry. 1, 2, 3, and 4 red lights are upon us. And it's lights out and away we go. And George Barks had not a very good start whatsoever. And that's gave the best opportunity for Jake Weston to get through on the inside. Now, a couple of drivers were struggling there just to try and pull away. And that just proves how hard it is to pull away on these wet conditions, as all the carts come flying through the Willow section. George Parker gets back through on Jake Weston. And this is a brilliant opportunity for George Barker to show what he's really made of around this Kim Bolton circuit. Jake Weston using the curbs. Oh, it's going to be so close as they come through. The Dan Weldon complex is going to be side by side. Weston just about takes it. I think Barker might try and look at coming back on him as they come round to finish the first lap of the race.
So after losing the lead on the start, I do manage to retake it from Jake Weston just to have a little fight, and then obviously he does manage to pass me again, and now we are continuing in second place.
Came together, so they will be monitored as the race goes on. We've got Zilvinas Klimas up to third place, Bo Phillips, Miles Murphy, Lucas Ellingham. One or two drivers, especially on the second and third row of the grid, it seemed, having difficulty getting the carts off the grid. The back wheels were just spinning up. Here they come to the end of the Yamitsu straight. The cart's topping out at around 100 miles an hour, which fully feels twice as fast when you are sat centimetres off the ground. It's very exhilarating to watch when you see these carts at close quarters. Gives you an impression of just how fast they are. Here we go with a nice move on the outside there for the I think that was Lucas Ellingham that made the move there. The 199 up to fourth place now. Starting to put the pressure on the number 5. You can see them really aggressively going for the lower gears when they make their way down towards the first corner. As Ellingham goes down the inside. Nice little move there going through the willows to get past the number 5. And Ellingham now up to fifth place. The number 5 of Miles Murphy dropping to fourth. But Murphy not giving this one up. So Ellingham, relative newcomer, one would say, to the KZ UK class. And really acquitting himself quite well here. Starting to close up on the top two drivers, Jake Weston and George Barker, first and second place. Jake Weston 43.23, so the cart's running really well. Tom Mack out of the race, number 32. You can see the cart on the infield, but the driver is okay watching the race as a spectator. In the meantime, oh, down the inside goes the number 5, and Miles Murphy retakes the position. And Lucas Ellingham losing out somewhat there because Bo Phillips also getting through.
Talking about that under investigation there between carts number 7 and 10. Oh, Lucas Ellingham makes the move on George Barker. That was a brilliant move going into the Dan Weldon complex. Now, the top two there sort of went before the rest of the pack. So I wonder if there's some sort of jump start procedure happening there. Now, we will let the officials sort out whatever they were under investigation for, but we won't let that bother the race. Let's get back to it. So Ellingham made that move that jumped him into third as they come down once again. My apologies, that'll put him into second. Just looking there, Charlie, at the nose cone on the number 5 of Miles Murphy, second place car, but it does seem to be dragging quite low here, so I think that might cause a problem after the race. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, There are the drop nose cone penalties for any drivers who, you know, use a nose cone to maybe try and push a driver off or something. And you know, if they are pushed back at the end of the race, they will be receiving that 5-second penalty. George Barker not having the best of races here, just getting forced wide there, not through the fault of his own. He just unfortunate timing there. It's a downward and complex. It's such a tight bit of road to get by, and it's not always the easiest for two cars to be alongside, side by side through there. There's Sam Ward on your screens. He's trying to make up some lost ground. Currently in 4th, he's made up 9 places, started 13th, so good drive so far. There's George Barker on your screens. Yeah, he's the one that started on the front row. He's currently sat there in 7th, and he, I'm assuming he wouldn't be too happy about that result. So here's a battle further back on the screen. So there's the battle between Bugh Phillips and just scrolling down a bit, see if we could see who he's battling against. Maybe Kilmass.
Clem, I think, also running well up to 8th position from James Beecroft, Leo Robinson, Ben Ballou, Hannah Lang up to 12th position. So Jake Weston continuing to lead the way here as they make their way. Midfield runners there making their way down the finish line straight. Here he comes down into the final corner. Jake Weston in the number 7, taking the curve on the inside line. He's got time to take it easy out to the final corner, but powers over the line to take the second heat victory. So Jake Weston is your winner. We cut back to the ADM paddock shop inset camera to look at the rest of the top 10 making their way out of Kimbolton Corner. It's Lucas Ellingham second, Miles Murphy in third, Sam Ward, Beau Phillips, Jake Baker, James Beecroft in 7th position. 8th for George Barker, Zavinas Climas in 9th, Leo Robinson 10th, Hannah Lang, Jed Defend, Ben Ballou, Bradley Calder, James Harvey and Jason Baker a bit further behind. Deal really. Let's have a look at that pack once again. You'll see though Jake Weston your winner, and really eking out quite a good advantage there from Ellingham, but look how close that is across the whole field. 25 seconds covering the entire pack. So KZ UK's once again very closely fought as you move on to our next race, Micromax heat number 2.
Right, we've just come out of the stewards room, and unfortunately after finishing around 7th place I've been given a penalty, and I'm now 16th. So from 1st to 16th. Did have a couple good fights. Don't know if HKRC caught them, but it was, you know, it's been a challenging day, but we've had a lot of good it's been a good but challenging day where we've sort of had pace, we've had fights and we've showed our potential, but just not really had the luck, and some minor mistakes in both Heat 1 and Heat 2 are going to cost us, and we're probably going to be starting in about last place for the final. So yeah, right, it is just about time for the final, and it's a gamble. I'm taking a look around all the other KZs, and they're all gambling on either slicks or wets. As the track's drying, everyone else is 4 seconds quicker on the slicks. Now, it would make sense for us to go, however, we have a different layout. At the top of the corner, top of the track, where we're going 90 miles per hour, it will still be wet. So this is a decision we need to make. And another thing is the sky. Take a look up at the sky. It looks like it wants to rain, and the chances are it probably will. Now, my app does say it's going to rain in about 10 minutes, but that was about 10 minutes ago. So if we do get any now, then I guess we'll see. I'm going to put you onto the final now, because I'm going to put my camera away, as it's going to get pretty stressful, I imagine, with everyone trying to change all of our tyres. So, put you back on, well, I'll put you into the final.
Ward in second. It was Miles Murphy in third from Jake Weston and James Beecroft. Jake Baker and Hannah Lang from Sylvanas Kilmass. From Jed the Friend, Leo Robinson, Bradley Calder, Bugh Phillips, Ben Ballou, James Harvey, George Barker, Jason Baker rounds out your row 8. And on the final row is Tom Mack and Bailey Wigglesford, who rounds out your row 9 as Chris Czora joins me back in the commentary box. It's going to be a very exciting one, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we get on in this final with the KZ, and of course the standing start. As you can see when we look at the back of Hannah Lang's cart there, As with all the others, everyone is on slick tyres now. It is pretty much a dry track. Just watching trackside a few moments ago. A lot more grip on the circuit compared to the heat races, and at the moment those forecasted rain showers appear to be bypassing us for the time being at least. Let's hope that is the case for the next hour or so, for the remainder of the race meeting, because the track is starting to really come to the drivers now. One driver on the infield there, that's the 26 of James Harvey, I think.
So not the best start to the final he would have wanted. Now, it's going to be very interesting for these drivers. Of course, they've got to try and warm up their slick tyres. They have the privilege of doing 2 laps to do this.
There's another driver pulling in, the number 19 there, Bradley Calder. Just saw him off the screen. There is the number 26, dragging the cart back onto the track. Don't know if he's going to try and bump start it, maybe.
Yeah, I think he might try and get that going. Obviously, he can't have any help from the marshals, because the second the marshals touch the cart, that's him out of the race. Clutch that they release. And obviously on the other side of the steering wheel is their gear lever. Now this is going to be very interesting. Oh, the number 26 could not get started, so he would not be starting the race. Unfortunate that.
Got 2 carts out of the race then, at least, because Bradley Calder is also pushing his cart just off the side of the camera shot there, back to the paddock. He's out of the race as well, so trouble at the start here for 2 of our competitors at least. And, well, Lucas Ellingham sitting on the money spot there on pole position, although Sam Ward will certainly be a tough competitor. He certainly can't write off Miles Murphy and Jake Weston either on the second row of the grid as we wait for the grid to form. The last driver in position now, all the time adding to the tension at the front here, but we are ready to go. The lights are on. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 red lights are on. Wait for the lights to go out. And we're away. Good start there from, oh, brilliant, from number 19. Ellingham's really faltered on the pole. But, oh, there he goes, keeps his elbows out. But look at that, down the inside for the number 5. Fantastic start there for Miles Murphy on the first corner.
Now, really bad start from Lucas Ellingham, who dropped a 4th at the first corner. Now, I wonder if that was a bad start that just led into not getting momentum going into turn 1, but Miles Murphy has had a brilliant start and leads the way from Sam Ward, who's there in second, or is he, because Jake Weston might have a look for second place. Now, it's going to be a very interesting battle. Miles Murphy, who hit impression from James Beecroft, as you can see on your screens, the number 72 there, that Sodi car as they come round the Dan Weldon corner. There was a slippery surface flag out, plus that yellow flag.
So the Dan Weldon corner, yeah, there's still the yellow and red stripe flag out, indicates trouble there for 72.
Bit James Beecroft there getting a bit sideways, and I wonder if he got onto the back of Lucas Ellingham, and just a little mistake there really cost him out there. Here's Lucas Ellingham on your screens. He's a very dominant X30 and Rotax driver. He's now learning his craft in KZ. But at the front, Sam Ward is there on that MS car. He's going to be trying to find some way past Miles Murphy. Now, Miles is a seeded driver, and he's not the easiest driver to get past. He's a very experienced KZ driver, has driven these karts for years and knows all the bits behind it. Let's see what happens then. 7 minutes left on the clock. Here we go. Sam Ward might have a look on the inside of Miles Murphy. Will Jake Weston have a look as well? Oh, he nearly got there, but it wasn't enough. He's all sideways trying to get out of the corner, but Sam Ward has done it.
And look further behind here, because Lucas Ellingham, after that bad start, he had a bad couple of laps there, just seemed to be off the pace, but he's found his momentum once again and slowly catching up with the chasing package. 2.5 seconds adrift of the leader right now, but he could yet be a factor in this race. There he is, with the number 18 of Bo Phillips right on his tail here as they make their way through the final corner. And these two desperately trying to get involved with the leaders. The top 3 have broken away somewhat now. But 4th and 5th here, Ellingham and Phillips trying to close.
Oh, Sam Ward! Sam Ward's got a problem!
Is in trouble.
Oh, unfortunate for Sam Ward, and that's him out. The leader is out of the race. You cannot write this. This is unseen in KZ. Miles Murphy will now take the lead back with Jake Weston into second place. Lucas Ellingham will now get back onto the podium. But what on earth has happened to Sam Ward?
Some kind of mechanical trouble there, it would seem. He just pulled off to the side of the circuit. And now Jake Weston is in the lead from Miles Murphy. This is all allowing Lucas Ellingham and Bo Phillips to close back up again. So here they come down to the first corner. and it is still your number 5 leading. Number 5 not showing on the timing charts here, so I'm sure they will add that in manually later on, but it is the number 5 in second place, as you can see on your screens here. But look out for Lucas Ellingham and Bo Phillips. They could still be a factor in this race as they make their way through the Dan Weldon corner. Another cart there, Zilvinus Climax cart, is in the tyre barriers there. Waved yellows on the approach to the Dan Weldon corner because of those carts on the edge of the track, so no overtaking there. But look at Ellingham here, he is right with the leaders now, just breaking away from Phillips slightly, and this is turning into a 3-way fight for the lead as Jake Weston holds on to the lead. Miles Murphy now reinstated into that second position on the timing charts, and second of course on the track, keeping the pressure on the race leader. Still Ellingham closing up all the time here.
Race leader has got a under investigation flag, so I wonder what has Jake Weston done in those last couple of laps to get himself a warning. It's going to be interesting to see the final results. Now, of course, we have to say all these results are provisional until the post-race inspection, plus any incidents that will be investigated after the race. But here we are, a 4-way battle now for the lead. Bure Phillips, who I don't believe has ever won a KZ race, neither has Lucas Ellingham. As they come down to the Dan Weldon complex, Miles Murphy and Jake Weston have both won KZ races respectively, but this might be the new charge in the 2025 season. Lucas Ellingham or Bure Phillips, this could be a brilliant way to start off their campaigns. Oh, very close there
from Miles Murphy into the Kestrel corner. That could allow the advantage here for Ellingham and Phillips as they make their way down the straight once again. Race leader pulls away slightly, but down the inside goes Phillips on Ellingham and just about makes the move. Yet he does. Had to be very quick on the cart on the positioning there to make that move stick for third place, but he does so. Ellingham drops to fourth momentarily, but trying to fight back. There are still waved yellows going into the Dan Weldon corner, so no overtaking here. And now back under greens as they make their way down towards Kestrel corner, and it is still Jake Weston, number 7, that leads the way. Miles Murphy, 5, in second position. Bo Phillips, as Ellingham dives down the inside, they bang wheels, and Ellingham makes the move stick. A little bit of contact there, but should be okay, I think. Ellingham back into third and still charging to try and get with the leaders. And this is where it all might hot up. The last lap board goes out for the leaders now. Phillips dropping behind a little bit. And just there in 5th place as well, Leo Robinson a bit further behind us. Down the inside goes Murphy, and Ellingham's going to get the inside here. Now, can he make that move stick? No, he doesn't. But it does mean that Miles Murphy takes the lead.
Now, I don't think Jake Weston will be happy about that one. That was a very late move from Miles Murphy, but he had to do it. It's the last lap of the race. He's got to get it done. And what a move from Miles Murphy. Now, we've got half a lap left, and I think Jake Weston's thinking now, I can't get this win. Let's just defend off this second place. What a drive. It's been Ellingham's gone for a spin. Oh, but it's going to be Miles Murphy who wins in KZ. Jake Weston will come finish the second, but such a shame for Lucas Ellingham. Final corner, he just tapped the back. You can see how angry he is at that. He knows he made a mistake there. He tapped the back of that car of the driver who was second going into the final corner, and it just put him into a spin. There wasn't much he could do after that. You're just a passenger in that moment. Well done to Bure Phillips, who rounds out his KZ 2025 campaign in third. He finished in front of Leo Robinson and Hannah Lang from Jason Baker and Ben Ballou, and George Barker rounds out your 8 finishers.
Yeah, real attrition there. There's the unfortunate Ellingham, and as you can understand, he is not happy at all. Just got caught out by those drivers bunching up on the final corner and got pirouetted out, and all he can do is push the cart back to the pit. So only 8 finishers of the 16 who started. Let's have a look. Miles Murphy winning from Jake Weston, Bo Phillips in third, less than a second covering the top 3. Leo Robinson fourth, Hannah Lang in 5th, and the rest of the field made up of Jason Baker, Ben Ballou, and George Barker, with the unfortunate Lucas Ellingham retiring on the final lap, and only half of the starters actually finishing the race. So some real attrition there, very tough race.
So I'm in pain because I had a fuel leak that whole time, and my legs burning like crazy. But it's okay, because there was a lot of DNFs and a lot of crashes due to, we had to go on slicks and it was wet, which actually meant I was 8th in the end. So after all that, I did end up finishing 8th, which is all right ending to the day. So if you did enjoy this one, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.